Traders, hello, happy Thursday. Connor, welcome back.
Scotty, great to be back with you. How you been?
I'm pretty well. The markets have been interesting for me, but it's episode 55. And look, guys, before we get into the charts and we're talking trades and whatnot, quick risk disclaimer I've remembered, which is good. So both Connor and I are trading with real money now. We have previously been trading demo accounts. So it's very important that you please understand when we present you trade ideas or we're talking about trades that we're in, we're not saying for you to do anything in particular. We're just showing you this is for education and entertainment. If you are looking to trade the markets, please, leave a comment, ask questions. Don't just open an account and start following other people would be, that's a quick way. I mean, you could make money quickly, but probably what will happen is you'll do that, then you'll quickly lose it. So it takes time. That's the most important thing. Connor and I have lost money and, we're learning now and we're doing this show. But please, if you have questions, ask questions. Don't just trade on the back of someone's advice and follow trades is what I would say, really. But rolling into trades, Connor, I've got your Swiss yen screenshot up here. And this one is looking pretty nice as well.
Yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? Still looks like the trend is happening. You can see that it's sort of retraced up now, it's retracing back down. I'd really like it to get towards that lower low again.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
Yeah. And then if that passed that, I'd be like, sweet. I'd really think that the trend is going to continue. But that's the only one I'm in at the moment. I was in the same trade as you. I took the opposite position on the Euro Aussie.
You did. So you sold. I can see. Yeah, I've got the chart up now. That collapsed pretty heavily. It's been I've just got the chart up here, guys. It's a wild ride. So you made around 1.5% or so off this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I can see it just collapsed really nicely. And it's for anyone who's in this trade, I got in long on the 9th of Feb. So you can see Connor's thesis behind the sell trade, and it's got a little bit of support though. It's bounced a few times and it didn't want to break it again, but it's really pretty chaotic. So yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's I don't know what's going to happen with this one. It's sort of
good luck with it. I took my little piece of pie out of there, and now you can
all right.
You can deal.
So that's the Euro Aussie trade. I've mentioned that earlier in a video that I put up, guys. So look, if you are in this long, my rule to you is if you're stressing a lot, you probably have too much risk on the table. So really carefully consider maybe dimming it down a bit. This is only 2%, which is around $10, so it's not the end of the world. But it wouldn't really matter. If it was a big account, you'd still have 2%. So, your psychology needs to be in the right place. If it's not, then you're just going to start interfering and getting stressed, and that's really not what good trading is about, honestly. All right, so what I will touch upon quickly is USD yen. This is also pretty messy too. It's in a tiny little bit of profit, but it's
yeah, I saw that. I saw that it's starting to go back down again. I thought you were doomed.
Oh, but, yeah, it's
a quick plummet downwards, but still, again, you wouldn't really be comfortable until you see it get down to those lower points again around the 105.
Yeah, and when it's bounced previously. So, like you said, it does have a bit of work to do, and it's interesting. Rex Tillerson went as well. I saw that. I mean, we're not a news channel here, guys, but did he get fired on Twitter? I think as well.
Yeah, he got fired on Twitter. Yeah. Where else would you get fired, Scott?
It's just he
you get fired in an office. Respectable man.
Oh, no. Donald, it's good value. Just because I follow him on Twitter, and he's just some of the stuff he writes out.
Oh, he's good. He's gold. It still looks like it's a trend on the daily.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get that up for the viewers, guys. So here's the daily. It is. It can get very bullish quickly, but then collapse, and it's my stop loss is pretty wide. The stop for me is at 108.74.
Oh yeah, that looks all right because it's still got like lower highs.
I was about to say, yeah, it does. It's just a matter of, again, guys, if you are thinking about trend trading, you have to be patient because although sometimes things collapse quickly, which is really nice, but most of the time it it does this sort of thing. And now just to touch upon my third trade I'm in, so I can't take any more trades, guys. I'm fully risked out here, but yeah, the Aussie CAD. So you pointed it out, Connor. I mean, would this be a potential trade for you at all, or not quite yet?
No, the range, the Great British Pound CAD has got more of a little box going on, very similar to the Aussie CAD.
Yep.
I'm liking the look of that a bit more at the moment, but even that's not really making me excited at the moment, so I'm not overly worried. I'm just concentrating on the trade I'm in for now.
Oh, I see. So I've got the British CAD up here for the viewers. So.
Yep.
Right there, that amount of consolidation, is that about the limit, or would it could go a little bit further if there was an entry that presented?
Like no, that's like
It looks
that's
pretty
fine.
good, doesn't it?
I'd actually wanted to. I'd actually, yeah, it's looking pretty good. If it's busted up, it'd have to have a good bust up, because there's been like 3 touches downwards. You can see those wicks,
Yeah.
and then you can sort of touched this zone about 4 or 5 times, which was pretty good. If it came back down, touched the zone again, went back up, I'd really like that, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm not overly excited at the moment about it, Scotty, so
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
I've found it's been weird this week. It's sort of, there's nothing besides the Aussie CAD, which I missed. The ideal entry would have been at the top of that big bullish candle. For me, that would have been good. And currently I'd be at about break even, maybe actually a little bit of loss but at the end of the day, you can't really dwell too much on that. It was still valid for me. And again, the most important thing, guys, if you are thinking about it, it's got to be entry, entry, entry. You have to really be focused on risk management. If you hear any professional traders that are good talking, they'll mention risk management as the really important thing. And then the rest of it is important as well, but not as much. Like if you're risking 10% a trade, that could get pretty disastrous, pretty, especially if you've got like 5 trades on the go at once.
I heard a good quote, and it was losing a position is aggravating, whereas losing your nerve is devastating.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good. If you take anything away from this video, guys, we try and keep them as short as possible. We do try and get a few things in. That's a good takeaway, just to remember. Now, also, I put up an ad on Gumtree about people interested in learning about Forex. I got a couple of replies. I don't know if they're going to watch this video, but Connor, I think if there's anyone in your area that wants an accountability individual, like that's what I offered, just to see, and I got some interesting responses, and it was all to do with just having no system. So what we can offer, guys, both Connor and myself, I got a little bit inundated. I had like a few people call me. So if you leave a comment, or you can get in touch with Connor potentially, if that's something that you could possibly do, Connor, if you're...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, it won't be free, obviously, guys, but I'm only charging, really, I was talking about, I mean, $50 or so for a Skype call for an hour or so, and I could give you ideas and concepts and things like that. It's not to do with helping you become a really great trader. It's more sticking to your rules. So when I started, speaking with Connor, and we got paired together on a forum by Walter Peters, it helped incredibly. So it's something to think about. Like if you are just feeling like you're absolutely lost, I would strongly encourage you, make sure you have some rules. Don't risk a lot either. Like everyone I spoke to today, there was no real risk management. It was just like, oh no, I just sort of do whatever. I'm like, wow, that's pretty scary. And one guy, if you are watching, he lost a lot of money, like a lot of money. And I appreciate his transparency with me, but that's what can happen, guys. Like I'm talking hundreds of thousands. So that's, you've got to be very careful, because the leverage is good in Forex. And Connor and I have made a little bit of money percentage-wise this year so far, but you have to be very disciplined, really. And if you're not, it can get, like we both know, it can get, you can really start losing money easily. So
Yeah, and like you said, you need to teach them a few fundamental
Yeah, yeah,
risk management proposals that
yeah.
they have to abide by. But
Yes, yeah, yeah.
it comes down to the horse in the water, and
Oh,
you can
yeah.
tell you got to do it. But I mean, I guess for us, just what we or what I did, a big thing was just having the money in the account and not touching it was a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
all sorts of different ways you can do the risk management, all sorts of ways you can teach. But
Mm.
yeah,
And we can
no,
give
but,
you
I mean,
guys a calculator as well. And yeah,
what you're offering, Scotty, $50. I mean, I know plenty of people $200, and some people, courses and stuff $1,000, $1,200 for a day.
yeah. Oh, it can really add up. I remember James said he took, I don't know if it was an FXCM course. It was like 50 grand. It was good, but you can really it can get extremely expensive. So, guys, if you are interested at all, at Trade Talk Pippin as well, both Connor and I use that. So if you're looking for some insight, you're looking for a Skype contact for Connor, I would, recommend that, because right now I can't help it. I've got my hands full a little bit. I had a few people get in touch with me, and if you're in Tasmania, I'm in Perth. But I mean, it just helps if you are living in the same state. You feel a little bit more relevant, so to speak. But I just wanted to throw that out there a little bit, because
saying that, Scotty, we met up, and you live in WA and I live in Tasmania, so
it can work. Yeah, that's right. The internet, and we've only had one time where Skype didn't work, and both of us have pretty terrible internet. So if it works for us, it can definitely
You've got the story of I'm sure they wouldn't mind me saying it, Rima and Andre.
Yeah.
One's in Australia and one's in like not the Netherlands. It's like Iceland or something crazy.
It is. Yeah. So
that worked out really well. So the
internet can make life a lot easier. So you don't really, because we can make videos for you that can help. We can show you how to use MetaTrader 4. Someone was asking me how to use that. It's extremely easy. Forex is extremely easy, which is a bad thing and a good thing, because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Anyone can start trading and, potentially quickly lose money. So, and that's what your broker wants. So you got to be very careful, disciplined. But I think that's about it.
Sorry to elaborate a bit further. Before I got on with, and met you with Walter Peters and those sorts of things, I was planning on, because I wanted someone to talk to and guide me through for FXCM, and FXCM would do it, but you need to have $10,000 in your account.
Yeah, you'll see that. Yeah, guys, that's, and also, they want minimums. They want you to put a lot of money in, and it's all fun and games, really, with the big brokers, because they, if you've got enough money, they'll help you, but it's or they'll have a minimum requirement. They might give you extra trading credits, but they want you to use a certain amount of lots per month, which is crazy. Like 5 lots a month is a lot. That's a lot of lots. That's not. I was like, when they said that, I'm like, ooh, that's not really.
Yeah.
I don't do that. They're like, come on. I'm like, whoa, just pump the brakes a bit here. But so we are available, guys, if you'd like to converse with us or you've got some questions. But the main thing is less is best. Like if you've got a dozen trades on the go, that's unless you're like an institution with hundreds of employees, it's okay. But if you're just one person, that can get very difficult to manage psychologically, and if you start losing money. But I just noticed we're nearly 15 minutes in, guys, so we might have to.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I went off on a tangent. I decided to talk about helping out other traders and things like that. But if in doubt, just don't trade. If you don't understand things, don't trade real money. Just don't do that. So yeah, you'll learn. It's a slow process. But I think that's it. Anything you'd like to add to finish up, Connor?
No, that's fine. You've hit the nail on the head once again, Scotty. Well done.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. And again, any questions, get in touch with us. Thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks, Connor. Have a great day.
Bye.